Welcome to Get Shit Done, where I'm gonna tell you how to get shit done.
I'm originally from Ukraine.
The first story will be very hard to tell story about the big failure. It's called How We Lost $450,000 when making 8 million. So if you're in service industry, this is for you. Pay attention, because tomorrow you might be where I was. And I would like to make a promise to you that by the end of this video, you will learn what not to do, how not to lose so much money in pretty much 1 year, and probably will learn something that they don't teach you in college, because I don't even know what they teach you in college these days, okay? How did it happen? December 30, 2021, I was probably the most miserable man on the planet Earth. My company just had a record-breaking year. I believe we broke $8 million in sales. We had a record year. We should have been making a ton of money, but we didn't. First thing is perception, right? People have a perception that is usually times 6 of what the reality is. So probably all of my guys, all of my friends, all of my suppliers, all of the family members probably thought that we were making 6 times more money than we actually did. They were wrong, right? We lost a lot of money. January, usually 1st is the holiday, right? So January 2nd, I come in the office. I know I need to, be ready for the next year. I go to my company's bank account, and guess what? It's negative. So what did I do? Again, I finally take action. Fired accountant in the parking lot. Boom, I'm like, listen, actually I had 2 accountants at the time. One survived, one didn't. So listen, if between 2 fully paid accountant, full salary, you guys couldn't make sure that we balance our account, there's something wrong. So fired that accountant, said to go and face them and tell them the truth. Hey, this is what happened. I have a plan. I had to have really hard conversations with that department that wasn't performing well. But the problem is that they thought they were. They thought they were actually helping everybody else because they were bringing revenue. They're like, no, it cannot be. What's the killer of all the service businesses is operational inefficiencies and low prices. Again, we had both. Very high callback ratio. I couldn't even say that number. It makes me sick. It was very high callback ratio and low prices. And that's why I said if you're running a service business, this is for you. If you have department, service, installation, maintenance, whatever that is, it must be set up completely different, almost like a different company. Have a different bank account. Watch every dollar that comes in and comes out. And you'll be able to quickly see where you're making money, where you're losing money. What we had is a big, pot. It was a soup. Money coming in, money coming out, right? There's a smart guy that called our business what he called a black hole, right? If you're between 3 and 5 and a little bit over $1 million in revenue, you're in a black hole. The money comes in the good amounts, but they also leaving in the good amounts. So you never, kind of can catch a break. So after the separation, guess what the first thing the people did when we separated that department? They went on their own. Guess what? They raised their prices immediately. So when we were together, now our pricing is good, we're making money. As soon as they become on their own, immediately the price went up by a lot. So, we were right, but who cares? No one cares what happened. Had to take action, okay? And so that's what we did. We separated it. What are the things, right? What just stood out? Makes me sick to my stomach when people talk about revenue. I do not care what your revenue is. Even if you're making 20 million, that's fine. Tell me what your net profit is. Almost no one talks about net profit. They don't even talk about gross profit or whatever. They just say, oh, we're bringing 20 million. What's your profit? 95% businesses run on 2.5% net. This is life support, basically. You don't have any reserve. If something happens, your business will not sustain 6 months. Guess why a lot of companies closed during COVID? They didn't have anything. They weren't prepared for the hard stop for this long, right? Think about it. Why did they close? It's not because they didn't want to continue. They just couldn't. They ran out of the money. We made much less money the next year, but we actually made profit. So guess what? Why do I care that I made 8 million? I do not. Same smart man said, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, cash is the king. So why is profit is vanity? So if you look at your P&L, it might show you, again, that you're making profit, but it has nothing to do with your cash situation, right? You need cash every day to pay bills, to buy something, invest. If you don't have a cash, but your P&L said that you made 500,000, last year, who cares? if you don't have the money to pay it, right? And actually that was pretty much what was happening. We owed a lot of money, and I told my wife at the time, I said, listen, I'll be the dumbest millionaire that went broke because I was owed more than $1 million, but I was broke, right? Because I didn't have any cash. You know, very simple lesson. Set a separate bookkeeping, accounting, as detailed as you could. Don't care about the revenue. Don't get fixated on the revenue. All the sales guys, all of the spreadsheet guys, oh, we're, you know, X amount of revenue. If you're talking about revenue, you should be bringing about 300,000 per employee. Take your revenue, divide by number of employees. If you're not making close to 300,000, then that's it. You could be telling me whatever you want. You're not making money. This pretty much work. But the profit is the second most important thing. But the cash is the most important. That's what we learned. Yeah, took me 17 years still learning. But I think it was very important for me to share. It's again very hard to share this story because it's very personal. A lot of people have a perception about me in that year. Congratulations, this is good, this is great. And I keep telling you, at least I was telling my supplier, I said, guys, you're the ones who make the most money. I'm happy for you. You did nothing wrong. I was calm about it because at the end of the year, it was just clear to me that, I had to get shit done. It's usually on you as the owner. I'm looking at you, the owner guy. You gotta sit down and think about it. What are you doing? Do you really have a business or you just have a job? This topic could be for another video for another time. We can discuss whether you have a job or you have a business and how to identify at least a few key things that could tell you, do you really have a business or you have just a job? So I'll leave you guys with that. Bye.
I'm originally from Ukraine.